इनकम टैक्स के पढ़ेंगे ना बैठ के, सेक्शन 6 के अंदर वो सारा का सारा वो दे रखा है। एनी बॉडी और बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट ब्रांच ऑफिस प्रॉपर्टी जो है पूरा का पूरा ये सेम चीज आ रही है। नेक्स्ट आती है हमारी रिपैट्रिएट। रिपैट्रिएट टू इंडिया, आपको बताएगा रिपैट्रिएट का मतलब क्या होता है? जी बताइए, रिपैट्रिएट किसे कहते हैं? कुछ आइडिया आपको थोड़ा बहुत? हाँ जी बताइए, थोड़ा बहुत कुछ आइडिया हो
Bringing into India.
तो फिर एक्सपोर्ट हो गया, इंपोर्ट हो गया।
Selling of foreign exchange to the authorized persons in India to exchange for rupees, sir.
मतलब समझ में नहीं आया
सर जैसे क्या नाम है, जैसे सेलिंग ऑफ सच फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, लाइक सर जो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज की जो मतलब करेंसीज वगैरह है उनको अथॉराइज्ड, जो अथॉराइज्ड पर्सन है उनको सेल करना, वो मतलब अपने इंडियन करेंसी के कन्वर्ट करने के लिए सर।
नहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है,
तो लिखा है सर द सेलिंग ऑफ सच फॉरेन एक्सचेंज टू
समझाओ ना बेटा। लिखा तो सब चीज है, लिखने से कुछ नहीं, समझ में आना चाहिए ना क्या लिखा हुआ है। अगर डेफिनेशन क्यों लिखी हुई है, समझने के लिए लिखी हुई है। चलो देखते हैं क्या मैं समझाता हूँ आपको।
रिलाइज्ड फॉरेन,
चलिए पढ़िए, आप देखो क्या लिखा हुआ है। देखिए, रिपैट्रिएट टू इंडिया, repatriate to India means bringing back foreign exchange earnings into the country. Got it? Now, this can be done by selling the foreign exchange to an authorized person in India for exchange for rupees, or by holding the earned amount in account with an authorized person in India as specified by the RBI. What does it mean? Repatriate means to bring back foreign exchange earnings into the country. Bring back foreign exchange earnings into the country. Bringing back foreign exchange earnings into the country. Now, this can be done by selling the foreign exchange that you have got from outside to an authorized person in India for exchange of rupees, or by holding the earned amount in an account with an authorized person in India as specified with the RBI. Now, repatriation also includes using the earned amount to settle any debt or obligation in foreign exchange. In simple terms, it is the process of converting and bringing foreign earnings back to India. Now, examples, check out the example. If a person earns money in a foreign country, they can repatriate it to India by either selling the foreign currency to an authorized dealer in exchange for rupees, or by keeping the earned amount in a designated account in India as per the regulation. Now, they can also use this money to pay off debt or liabilities denominated in foreign exchange. Repatriate is okay, guys? Kindly confirm me. The meaning of repatriate is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next important definition is special directive that we are going to check later on. Now, regulation and management of foreign exchange. What does it talk about? Chapter 2nd of the Act, containing Section 3 to 9, deals with the management of foreign exchange. Section 3 prohibits any other person other than authorized person from dealing in transacting from any foreign exchange or foreign security to any person, or making any payment. So Section 3, no need to, it's normally talking about the bifurcation of section. Now, focus on current account transactions. What are current account transactions and what are capital account transactions? Just wait. Here we go. Whatever. Yes, is it visible, guys? Kindly confirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what are current account transactions? First of all, we are going to study the current account transactions. Then we are going to take each an example for this. Now, current account transactions involve routine, regular trade-related activities, essentially having the exchange of goods and services, incomes and transfers. These transactions are a part of day-to-day economic activities and are generally of short-term nature. Now, for examples, we can take import and export of goods and services. Now, when an Indian business imports goods from a country or exports goods and services to a foreign country, the associated payments and receipts fall under current account transactions. Now, when we are doing import and export of goods and services, whatever these kind of transactions fall under current account transaction. Sometimes we also make payment for services. Payment for services such as consultancy, tourism, and professional fees are also considered under the current account transactions. Now, what are remittances? Personal remittances means payments. Personal remittances from individuals working abroad to their families in India are also part of current account transaction. For example, if someone is working in US and he's transferring some money to the concerned person in India, so that will be called as remittance, and that will also will be called under the current account transactions. Now, income from investments, dividend and interest earned from investments abroad are also included in current account transaction. So these are your current account transactions. Very good. Now, next, what are capital account transactions? Capital account transactions involve the movement of, it is includes the movement of financial assets and liabilities, including long-term investments. Financial assets and liabilities. These transactions have more significant and lasting impacts on country economics, and because since now you have to tell me out of this capital account transactions and current account transactions, which are long-term?
क्योंकि सर ये लास्ट तक इम्पैक्ट रखती है सर.
Which are long-term nature?
Sir, capital account transactions.
Capital account transactions, because see, you can make export and import. The duration could be for 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, yes or no. But if you want to make investment, then investment always takes a longer time period. Now,
Like,
examples
for
of capital
5
account
years.
transactions are foreign direct
5 years.
investments. Now, when a foreign entity makes a long-term investment, I'm talking about when a foreign entity makes a long-term investment in Indian business, it is considered as capital account transaction. For example, a foreign company establishing a subsidiary in India. Next is foreign portfolio. Whenever direct investment means you are investing in what? You are investing in physical assets. Now, when you're talking about the stock market part, investments in stock and bonds by foreign investors fall all under capital account transactions. Then we have got external commercial borrowing. Borrowings are always of short-term nature or long-term nature?
Sir, long-term, sir, borrowings.
Long-term. Now, when an entity borrows money from foreign sources, it is classified as capital account transaction. Transfer of assets. If you are transferring an asset, the purchase or sale of assets like land and property between residents. See, a land cannot move outside the country. Is it possible?
Sir, no.
But it can move on papers. The purchase
Yes, sir.
and sale of assets like land or property between resident and non-resident is also considered as capital account transaction. Now, it is noteworthy that while current account transactions are generally more liberalized means free. Free means there is no more, very less restrictions on that to facilitate smoother international trade. Capital account transactions may be subject to regulatory controls to manage the inflow and outflow of capital and to ensure stability in the economy. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) plays a key role in regulating and overseeing these transactions. Got it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now the next part: prohibition of prohibition or withdrawal of foreign exchange for certain transactions. Very important. And it is very genuine one. You are going to confront this on day-to-day life. Let's check it out. The heading is prohibition of withdrawal on withdrawal of foreign exchange for certain transactions. What does it mean? Just hold. Here we go. Now, the rule mentioned relates to the prohibition on drawing foreign exchange for certain transaction in India. Now, according to Rule 3, individuals or entities are not allowed to draw foreign exchange for specific purposes listed in Schedule 1. Additionally, this restriction applies to transaction involving travel to Nepal or Bhutan or transaction with the individuals or entities residing in Nepal or Bhutan. Exception can be made by the RBI for the transactions with the residents of Nepal and Bhutan. But this exemption is subject to terms and conditions as deemed by the RBI. Now, examples of transactions which are specified in Schedule 1 that are prohibited for drawing foreign exchange might include certain investments. Perhaps there are restrictions on using foreign exchange for specific type that we are going to discuss on specific types of investment that are considered risky or not aligned with the regulatory bodies. Okay. Unlawful activities. Transaction associated with the activities which are deemed legal or against the law may be listed in Schedule 3. Restricted trade practices and these specific services. Now let me show you the table. That table it is provided. Yeah, these are the transactions. See, first one is remittance out of lottery winnings. Remittance of income from racing, riding, or any other body. Remittance for purchase of tickets, of lottery tickets, band, prescribed magazine, football, pool, sweepstakes. Payment of commission on exports made towards equity investment in joint ventures, wholly owned subsidiaries. Payment of commission on exports under rupee state credit route except commission up to 10% of invoice value. payments related to callback service on telephone, remittance of interest income on funds. You are not supposed to learn all these things. You don't need to worry. It is basically.
सर ये स्पेकुलेटिव बिजनेस में सर कवर होती है ना सर?
What are you saying?
सर मैं कह रहा हूँ जो ये लॉटरी टिकट वगैरह जो आपने बताया कि इनका
Speculative, all are under
स्पेकुलेटिव बिजनेस में.
Yeah. Now, for prior approval of government of India is required under certain transactions. Rule 4 requires prior approval of the government of India for the transactions specified in Schedule 2. You are not supposed to learn, no need to learn all these schedules. You will not be asked. Now, transactions included in Schedule 3. Individuals can avail foreign exchange facility for the purpose within the limit of 22,50,000 USD only. Any additional remittance in excess thereof will require the approval of RBI. For example, private visits, gifts and donations, going abroad, immigration, maintenance of close relatives, travel, expenses in connection medical treatment and studies abroad, any other current account transactions. However, for the purpose mentioned at item 6, 4th, 7th and 8th, individual may avail exchange facility amount of excess of the limit prescribed under liberalized remittance scheme as provided under so that we are going to discuss later on. Liberalized remittance scheme. This is a liberalized remittance scheme. Just hold a second. Yes. Now the liberalized remittance scheme, also known as LRS, is a policy that allows resident individuals, I'm talking about resident individuals in a country, to freely remit or send money abroad for certain types of transaction. In this example, the LRS specifies a limit of 2,50,000 US dollars per financial year that resident individual can remit for any permitted current or capital account transaction or a combination of both. Now, here is a breakdown of key points. This is liberalized remittance scheme. This is a policy framework that relaxes restrictions on the amount of money individuals which can be sent to abroad for a specific purpose. USD limit. What is the USD limit right now here? 2,50,000. How much it will be in Indian currency?
सर इंटू कर देंगे सर इसका मतलब यूएस डॉलर में मतलब जैसे $1
resident individuals are allowed to remit up to 2,50,000 USD in financial year. This amount can be used for various types of transactions, those related to current account, regular trade or capital account long-term investments. Then financial year, the limit of US dollar 2,50,000 applies within a specified financial year, which runs from April to March. Permitted transactions, the remitted funds can be used for any permitted or capital current account transaction. Current account transactions might include payment for imports, travel, expenses, or gifts, while capital account transactions could involve investments such as buying property abroad and foreign investing in foreign securities, exclusion of entities. The LRS is specified to available only to resident individual. It is not applicable to corporates, partnership firm, HUF, trust, and any other entities. The scheme is designed to facilitate individual remittance rather than organizational transaction. Now check out with the example. Suppose an individual residing in India wants to send money abroad for their children's education, a capital account transaction. Under the liberalized remittance scheme, the individual can remit up to only $22,50,000 US dollars in a financial year for this purpose without seeking any specific approval. Now, they could also use this limit for other permitted transactions such as overseas travel expenses or buying foreign assets. It is important for individuals utilizing the LRS scheme to adhere to specified limit and use the remitted funds for the purposes allowed under the scheme. The scheme aims to simplify. Now, the scheme aims to simplify and streamline the process of individual remittances while ensuring that larger entities are not taking the advantage of the relaxed restrictions. Got it, guys? LRS scheme for whom it is applicable.
सर ये रेजिडेंट इंडिविजुअल के लिए एप्लीकेबल है सर, और इसकी जो यूएसडी की जो लिमिट है विदाउट अप्रूवल वो 2.5 लाख के करीब है सर,
एग्जैक्टली
यूएसडी डॉलर में, और उसके बाद उसके सर अप्रूवल आरबीआई की लेनी पड़ेगी सर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
2.5 लाख।
right. Now you can go through maintenance of going abroad employment, ये medical treatment, facilities available to students for pursuing their studies. You can go through. Now, what are the permissible capital account transactions by an individual which are allowed? Let's check. What are the permissible? The permissible capital account transactions by an individual under LRS are which are allowed are opening of foreign currency abroad account abroad with a bank, acquisition of immovable property abroad. You can do overseas direct investment ODI, overseas portfolio investments in accordance with the provisions contained in the foreign exchange management process, overseas investment rules, foreign exchange management, all these laws. You can also extending loans, including loans in Indian rupees, to non-resident who are relatives as defined under the Act, under the Companies Act 2013. This we have already done. What are capital account transactions? Yes or no?
सर
Permissible capital account transactions. Classes of capital account transactions by person resident in India, transfer of immovable property, loans and overdrafts, exports, taking out of insurance policies. Classes of capital account transaction person by resident outside India. Let's discuss this one. Now, under the Foreign Exchange Management Act, under this FEMA in India, capital account transactions involve the movement of financial assets and liabilities and are classified into various categories. Now, here are some classes of capital account transactions by person residents out of India along with the examples. Check it out. Foreign direct investments. Investments made by a person or entity from outside India in the equity shares, fully and mandatorily convertible debentures and other instruments of an Indian company. For example, a foreign company investing in Indian business to acquire a significant ownership. These will be categorized under the class of capital account transactions by person resident out of India. Then foreign portfolio investments. Investments made by foreign individuals in the Indian financial markets will also be categorized under this class. External commercial borrowings. Indian companies securing a loan from a bank to a fund capital in a capital intensive project. Foreign convertible bond. Are you aware of what are foreign currency convertible bonds?
सर फॉरेन एक्सचेंज कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड्स और फॉरेन करेंसी सर इनमें डिफरेंस आता है सर एग्जाम में शायद
बेटा मैं पूछ रहा हूँ भी आपसे ये बताओ फॉरेन करेंसी कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड्स कौन से होते हैं बॉन्ड्स इशूड बाय एन इंडियन कंपनी इन फॉरेन करेंसी that can be converted into equity shares of the issuing company. Now suppose an Indian company raising funds by issuing bonds denominated in foreign exchange with an option for the bond holders to convert them into equity shares will be called as foreign currency convertible bonds. Now transfer of capital asset outside India. A non-resident individual can sell real estate property in India and repatriating it to the proceeds to their home country. All these are the classification, all these are the class of the assets, which classes of capital account transactions by persons resident out of India. So these are the kinds of classes of capital account transactions which can be classified into this category. Now next is, okay, I'm giving you some simple questions to revise. Let's take a break for 2 minutes. In the meantime, you can check it out.